Greetings and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim once more for the 26th time now, I think. There's a lot. This one's big. This is a big one. Anyway, last time we had a meeting of fate. And this time, for what I recall briefly seeing, we have a meeting. We're gonna meet at what looks like a mom, basically. She does. Blah blah blah. Anyway, I remember now. Blah blah blah, friendship, blah blah blah. Stelsa says yet. Here. She looks like a happy mom. Look at that. That's adorable. Look at that. Look at her. That's adorable. Aww. That's nice. Okay. Oh, that's nice music. Aww. Listen to that. That's just nice. I like that. That's a lot. That's really nice. Shame about the rain, but you know, it's just rain. Although it's Alternia, so it could be really, really bad. This is really nice music. It's a nice tone, nice change of mood. Okay, so it turns out, stealing a car was easily one of your better impulse decisions. You've gotten accustomed enough to its weird insides by now that the squishiness doesn't much faze you anymore. It still feels like the warm stomach of some giant creature, but you actually find it kind of comforting. You can just let yourself get enveloped by the seat while the autopilot does its thing. Getting ferried through the streets of Alternia with your feet up on the dash sure beats endlessly pounding the pavement. Sometimes you even throw Sarava Stream on your phone if you really want to get a chill vibe going. You're surprised you haven't been caught yet. Dastardly carjacker that you are, but maybe you're just a better thief than you've always thought. A possible career change to look into when, if you ever get back to Earth. Or very few people actually give a fuck about their cars being stolen that much, because the owner's probably dead. They're very likely that they got killed by bees. Yeah. The downside is that it's a little difficult for you to further your goal of gathering even more friendship from the inside of a vehicle. So you'd park the scuttle buggy and expose yourself to the menaces of the outside world once more. You're in what looks like some sort of a residential neighborhood. It isn't as nice as the blue blood neighborhoods you've seen, but still nice enough for most of the apartment complexes to have imposing locked front gates and security drones. Oh, but of course you can't take a leisurely stroll on Alternia without something terrible happening. You aren't out here for very long before it starts raining. Shit. Damn and fuck. You ditched the umbrella Tirona had given you since it was as heavy as a goddamn club, and now you're super regretting it. Running for shelter is all you can do, so you make a mad dash for one of the building awnings. Awnings? First time of reading that word. Huddling uncomfortably underneath it. The rain doesn't let up. You'll have to move soon. The security drones are beginning to look like they're planning on taking a few shots at you for loitering. You need to make a decision, and fast. I'm good at decisions. Run back to the scuttle buggy, that's how we end this encounter. Try and get into one of the buildings, that's how we die and end this encounter. Get into building. There's no way you're getting into any of these without a passcode. But wait! You think you see someone coming your way. Perhaps they'll be your knight in shining armor? Or like in a coat. So what you're telling me is that my appointment is cancelled! You're still some distance away, but she's looking right at you. You point at yourself questioningly, thinking she might be talking to you. But then you realize she's wearing a Bluetooth headset. Jerome used to be on the ball. Remember the time he gave me a full prong beautifying procedure right after that high blood ripped his arm off? But now he can't bounce back from one little thresher in the abdominal sausages. What happened? That boy is losing his touch. He doesn't use punctuation. Oh god. That's gonna fuck with my brain so bad. Probably worse than letters being replaced with numbers or something. God damn it. Punctuation is really, really, really fucking important. God damn it. It looks like she's coming back from a jog, if the running shorts are anything to go by. If she's at all bothered by the acid glancing off her skin, sending dozens of little firecracker sparks in their wake, she isn't showing it. She seems much more preoccupied by the harried conversation she's having on the phone. Most important, She's power walking to the entrance of this building, which must mean she lives here. This is your chance. You shuffle along under the awning, pressing yourself close to the side of the building, bug-like. You sort of wish she'd encountered you earlier when you were dodging rain like a rad action hero. Now you just look like some sort of cowardly and pathetic. Especially compared to her. She's striding along like absolutely nothing's gonna get in the way of whatever business she's got going on, let alone a few paltry explosions. Actually, she's so focused on her call that she doesn't notice you until you're standing right next to her. Such an inconvenience, you can fully expect that I will be taking my business elsewhere from now. Oh my, oh my. What do we have here? She transitions from hanging up the call to talking to you so quickly that it makes your head spin. Take this down. Strange little cornless creature parked in front of home, very puny and scared looking. Can only be the alien everyone has been talking about. Such an opportunity can't go to waste now, can it? Okay, she's a journalist apparently, okay. I'm guessing me. You're confused again. Looking around to see who she might be talking to. No, she's in professional journalist mode at all times. There's a camera on her all the time, in her brain. But there's nobody else here. Maybe she's dictating notes to her phone? Look at you, we can't have you wandering around outside like this, darling, can we? Aren't you ravishing? Do give me good name of your stylist, so good to meet you. Here's my card. Fuck. No punctuation. This is so awful. God damn it. My brain. I guess she just doesn't... She's too busy for punctuation. Fuck me. Fuck. I need punctuation. I need punctuation. The name Stelsa says yet. Auditioneering... Auditorizer in training for the Alternian Empire. Nice to meet you. Let's walk and talk. But that's how she talks. She just doesn't stop. You didn't realize that borrowed hoodie was that impressive of a look, but okay. She produces a business card with one hand and inputs some numbers into a panel with the other. You take the card. It's a struggle to process what she's saying, respond to her questions, and introduce yourself, all while experiencing the verbal equivalent of getting hit by a truck. Okay, I'm glad we're in agreement. I'm glad we're in agreement, like, yes. That's a very apt description. How is it possible to talk so fast without taking a breath? You can barely get a word in edgewise. God, I'm gonna have to try. Stelsa continues chattering away as she steps inside and waits for you to follow her into the apartment building's elevator. You do. So tell me, do you run any business on your plant? If you do, I would be more than happy to offer my services. They are very efficient and affordable, I can assure you. All your legal and financial documents will be checked over in no time. I'll make sure everything is running at tip-top shape. I'm so very happy to have run into you. Ever since Zizi told me she met you, I've been asking her to introduce me. It's so very important for a professional to continue growing her network, especially intergalactically, don't you agree? She's still busying herself with her phone while talking to you. Texting on its tiny keyboard now. The name Zizi doesn't ring any bells. You flip through the Rolodex on your brain, trying to remember. Oh, that could be fucking anyone. No, it can't be. It is... Well, there's only like one person, Tizius. Yeah, right, that's the only one who could be. With a Z. Yeah, that's the only one with the Z that we've met so far. I mean, there's Ashdair, but Ashdair was a bit different. Have you really made so many friends that you're beginning to forget their names? You're a little impressed with yourself, hey? It feels like only yesterday that you were crawling around in the basement of a murderess and getting stabbed in the shin with a screwdriver. Just a single friend to your name. Good times. Not really, but you do you, Stickman. You've come so far since then. It brings a single, sentimental tear to your eye. Wait, Stelsa's own name finally starts to register. You've heard it before. This is Tizius's mate spread. So she must be talking about Tizius. Murderess is stabbing very fascinating stuff, I'm sure. Yes, I'm referring to my darling Tizius, of course. You're at the door to her hive. She unlocks it, letting you both in. Come in, welcome to Ches Sayas Yacht. Make yourself at home. Can I get you anything? Water, cupcake, my rates sheet. I would love to continue our chat while I am a little less sweaty. Also, acid wreaks absolute havoc on skin, you know how it is. I'll just jump into the ablution trap for a minute. Please excuse me, won't be long. Back in 2 shakes of a quack beast's gastric evacuation pillow. Fucking expressions as well. Actually, you wouldn't know how it is, considering that a bucket load of acid falling on you would leave you either very injured or very dead, and she's already gone. You're a little relieved. It's not that Stelsa isn't friendly, she's plenty friendly, she just approaches friendship in a way that makes you feel a little like a line on her to-do list and she's in a hurry to check off. Well, she's a busy woman, okay? Or, well, she seems like she wants you as some sort of work contact, not a friend, but that's okay. You've worn many hats in the pursuit of friendship. Clown cultist, impromptu shoe shapper, murder accomplice, multiple times even. Business associate is one of the tamer ones on the list. Now that you no longer have to keep up with her mile-a-minute of conversation, you can take a proper look around her hive. It's busy. Oh hey, there's Flowey. There's a little Flowey. Little Flowey on the side. Oh dear. No, it's very similar. And a million notes. But there's also folders, it's organized, it's nice. You're not sure what's more perturbing. The sheer amount of pink that's costing your eyeballs, or the fact that everything is so painstakingly organized that it's making you a little uncomfortable. It's like you merely standing here is disrupting the careful order of the room. Her shelves are crammed full of books, all neatly arranged according to topic, with each topic displayed on a little label on each shelf. She also has a lot of posters featuring motivational slogans underneath striking nature photography. Of course she does, for fuck's sake. The only normal-looking spot in the hive is a coffee table with a mishmash of personal belongings piled on top of it. Books, papers, a jacket. You think that might be a mug? None of those items strike you as being particularly Stelsa style. Look, there's only so much you can do with the business equipment and tools and little whatever the word is for those things. I don't remember. Anyway, the overall effect is that of a very pink, very neat office cubicle. You almost feel like you should start chugging mediocre coffee and complaining about how much you hate Mondays. So sorry to have kept you waiting. Stelsa emerges, her hair wrapped in a towel. Well, it's been a blast getting to know you. We should get lunch sometime. Keep the conversation going. I'll pencil you in, darling. But for now, I have a bit of a dilemma to deal with. That sounds worryingly like a dismissal. You sneak a glance at the schedule on her bulletin board. It's a blaze of color, with barely any free slots. You don't want to be penciled in. You have no idea when she might be available next, and you need her sweet, sweet friendship now. Maybe whatever problem she has is something you could help with. Unless you're a ludicrously talented beautician, I think not. My usual place bumped me off their list, and right before a very important meeting too. A girl has to look her best for these things to really knock their socks off. If I want to make arrangements at another salon, I shall have to move fast, no time to waste. And why not use the extra time to do more prep for the meeting? Who needs beautician when you're around? Yeah, let's do that. He needs beautician when you're around. You have absolutely no professional beauty experience, but Serava did give you that crash course in crafting great looks. Stelsa is probably after a vibe that's a little less moisture wave, but you're sure you can whip something up. Oh dear, this was the wrong choice, wasn't it? You tell her that you'll help her get ready instead, right here in her hive. Where freaky alien Ooh! How nice of you to— I've never had a house call before. Let's do this! Oh, she's excited. Well, that's nice at least. Oh god, there's the pink that they were talking about. And the respite block, whatever the fuck that is. They sleep in goo. They sleep in green goo. Or something like that. She leads you into the next room, rubbing her hair dry as she goes. There's a raccoon in one corner and a vanity in the other, with an array of buffets, brushes, and other mysterious implements spread out on its surface. Some of them are disturbingly pointy. Oh well, you're sure you'll be able to figure out what they're all for once you start using them. Stelsa takes a seat in the chair in front of the vanity, folding her hands primly in her lap. So darling, what do you think? What should we do first? It's all up to you. Oh, not this again. Why are you always making all the decisions around here? What you wouldn't give to be able to foist your own life choices off on random people you've just met. It would be refreshing. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Let's style the hair. The horns are fine. The horns are good. They're reserved. They're like slanted backwards. That's fine. Let's style her hair. God. Wrong choice. The first order of business should be drying Stelsa's hair. You pick up a funnel-shaped doohickey that looks like it might be a hairdryer, fumbling around for the button. There isn't one, but you manage to turn it on by giving it a good squeeze. The mouth of the funnel opens up wide, emitting a hot blast of air along with a hoarse animal yell. Of course it does. You think you might actually see teeth inside. Well, that's all. Okay. Just don't think about it too much. That's the best you could do when it comes to literally any Alternian gadget. Thankfully, the noise soon fades to a low hum. Here, use this! Stelsa passes you a piece of thorny bramble. It looks painful, but when you begin brushing Stelsa's hair, she sighs happily. Ah, interesting being in this position for once. When Theseus is over, usually I'm the one doing this. You try to imagine Theseus letting someone give her a sweet do. Even when it's a girlfriend in question, you have a hard time picturing it. Stelsa laughs. She has a surprisingly pretty, musical laugh. No, my dear Dizzy isn't one for involved beauty rituals. She usually doesn't let me do more than just brush it, but it's still relaxing. Sliding the brush through Stelsa's hair is pretty relaxing. You allow yourself to zen out for a moment before shaking yourself out of it, casting around for something to talk about. That's what good hairdressers do, right? Strike up casual conversation? Your eyes fall on an open book sitting on the table. It's the only object there that doesn't have anything to do with her hair care or beauty, so it stands out like a sore thumb. Just like the items on the coffee table, it's strewn too haphazardly to look like it belongs to Stelsa. You think you see some of the tabs Theseus was using on the notes for her group project. And if you look even closer, you think you catch the words revolt and history in the page header. Right, as Theseus' mate spirit, Stelsa probably has big plans for dismantling the system from the inside too, after she becomes an auditor. Auditeror. You remark that you think it's really cool what she and Theseus are doing. It might be scary to stick it to the man like that, but someone has to do it. Bad choice. Okay, it's not exactly a light conversation, but talking to Theseus about this has been so enlightening, if sad, and you'd really bonded over it. Maybe you'll be able to bond with Stelsa the same way. But Stelsa only looks confused, yeah. Then her eyes flick down onto the book, just for a second, before she reaches out, smartly snaps it shut, and squirrels it away in one of her drawers. The sound of the drawer slamming makes you jump, and you narrowly avoid pulling Stelsa's hair. I'm quite sure I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sticking anything anywhere. Definitely not to any man. Neither is Theseus. She's sitting straight and tense in the chair now, her voice soaring to a high bordering on hysterical pitch. Oh no, she probably doesn't know you're on their side. Theseus might not have told her about your conversation. It's okay, you're not going to tell anyone. You're sworn to secrecy, but Stelsa averts her eyes. A stubborn set to her chin. Yeah, just don't press it, just ignore it, just move on. Again, I have no idea what you're talking about, but not a single clue. Theseus and myself both law-abiding subjects of the Empire. We don't dabble in such foolish things as sympathizing with rebels. What would that possibly accomplish? She wrings her hands distractedly. We do things the way we do on Alternia for the reason, darling. Without the Hemo Spectrum and the roles we each need to play, why, the world would be plunged into complete chaos. Can you even imagine? Trolls running around not knowing which way is up or doing whatever they please, no one to tell them what their place in the world is. She goes from hand-wringing to gesticulating wildly, almost knocking her raw jaws off the table, positively frantic at the prospect of societal breakdown. Okay, that's kind of wonderful. It's better for everyone this way. I truly believe that. You're beginning to realize that you might have put your foot in your mouth. Yeah, just a little bit. Stuffed a toe or two in that gob of yours, maybe. She sounds way too earnest for this to be a cover-up. Could it be possible that Stelsa really does side with what had Theseus called her? The Condens? And that she doesn't know about Theseus' underground research after all? But the book was right there. You're so confused. Talking about this is clearly distressing Stelsa though, so you drop it, focusing on finishing up her hair instead. It's pretty soft now that it's dry. You're not sure if you've styled it correctly, but she seems pleased. Great work, that's fantastic, you did an excellent job. You glow at the praise. You'd say thanks, but she's already passing you a bottle of nail polish. She really wants you to go all the way, huh? You twist it open and get to work. You're too focused on not smudging the teal color over the stately points of her claws to talk, but Stelsa breaks the silence. I have a question for you. You nod, sticking your tongue out in concentration. So I have this acquaintance. This is the most tentative you've heard of her so far. You weren't sure her vocal cords were capable. Oh, she's doing. Oh, I have this friend who has got love troubles. This fucking trope. They're in a quadrant with someone who harbors views most would consider subversive, not out of treasonous. Yeah. We know. She's always talking about her self-enthusiast, but you don't want to point that out in case she gets upset again. So you just nod along thoughtfully. Yeah, obviously. She didn't always. The bait spirit, I mean. It will blow over at some point. She must be going through a difficult phase. But in the meantime, she could get into so much trouble. Stelsa's lower lip wobbles like she's about to cry. You chew on the inside of your cheek, trying to figure out what to say. Talking to Theseus very much did not leave you with the impression that it was a phase. She sounded pretty serious. Does Stelsa's friend have any idea that this thing is going on? She looks at the drawer. So do you. Aha. Nope. You resist the urge to massage your temples. No idea at all. Sure you don't. Absolutely not. Alright, okay. You can do this. A good first step might be for her friend to face up to the issue. You know, if there's a chance that they have the tiniest inkling about what might be happening. So the two of them can talk about it. Talk about it. Yeah. You're no expert, but one open discussion probably helps with relationship problems quite a bit. Plus, you ruminate to yourself. The more you think about it, the less it seems that Theseus leaving her controversial book out like that was an accident. It was right in front of Stelsa's chair after all. Maybe Theseus wanted Stelsa to see it. You'd slicked the last bit of color onto Stelsa's pinky claw a while ago, but you're both too wrapped up in the conversation to suggest that you move on to something else. She lets the polish dry while the two of you continue to talk. But my friend does not agree with her mate spirit's sentiments. Discussing it would just cause unnecessary friction, wouldn't it? Maybe, but even so, addressing the issue is probably better than pretending it isn't there. Besides, quadrant mates can coexist regardless of differing beliefs, right? Yeah, you don't sound convincing even to yourself, but the platitudes seem to comfort Stelsa somewhat. Maybe you're right. Carefully, mindful of her just-dried nails, she wipes away a few tears, much to your horror. Was that the wrong thing to say? But then you notice that she's smiling. I have not spoken about that to anyone before now. Telling you about was truly a load off my bellow sac cavity. I'm certain my friend will be grateful, as well as I shall relay your advice accordingly as soon as I can. You smile back at her weakly. You haven't been able to relate to very much when it comes to Alternia life, but boy can you relate to relationship drama. And trolls sure seem to have plenty of it. You hope everything turns out alright. For her friend. Since her voice is all sniffly and her eyelashes still wet, you retrieve a frilly box of hand tissues and hold it out to her, hoping that will help. She pulls out a few and blows her nose on them with a sad, honking noise. I should finish getting ready. She seems reluctant to get up though. You'd probably be the same, knowing you had to head into a serious business meeting after spilling your heart like that. Experiencing emotions is tiring. Eventually though, Stelsa musters up enough energy to get to her feet. Yee! Much to your surprise, instead of immediately rushing out to complete her next pre-meeting task, she pulls you into a tight hug. Ah, hugs are nice. Thank you, you're a real friend. And there it is. Not colleague, not potential client, but that wonderful friendship word. That's nice, there we go. Ah, friends from, yeah, there we go, hugs nice. We don't need anything else. We don't need anything else. That's excellent. That's perfect. Ah, that little heart. Ah, that's adorable. Adorable. I love that. That's fantastic. Hugs are nice.